Hey, it's the summer. We back. Special guest with us.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Gary Charles, the legend.
The legend. Mr. Brim, the hat.
Every time I've seen you, you probably never seen me before, but I've seen you plenty of times throughout the years I've been around, and you always smooth, man. I've never seen a pair of gym shoes or sneakers on ever.
No, you're right about that. You know, I have to tell you all that I watched my father. My father used to wear a 3B suit. He used to work for IBM. And one day he came to school in the 6th grade to talk to one of my teachers. And I saw the way the other teachers were looking at him. And my father, believe it or not, 6'4", kind of, reminded people of Muhammad Ali at the time. And now we're talking about the late 60s right now, I'm talking about. And he came into the room, and I'm watching the way the teachers are looking at him, like, wow, look at that man, he's sharp. And I said to myself, well, I'm gonna do the same thing then. So I started to follow my father's footsteps, and I've been getting dressed since I was 15 years old. But since I was 15 years old, I was wearing suits, I was wearing my hat, and I remember that at school, it got to the point that the assistant principal would meet me at the door every single day. And he would just put his hand out, and I would give him my hat. All right, because I couldn't wear the hat in school.
Right.
So he took my hat. And when school was over, he would be there waiting, hand my hat back.
Every day.
Every single day.
Never had no problems.
Never had no issue. I was on a basketball team. I took care of business. So, it's always, everyone in town knew, well, that's Gary Charles, he's going to be someone. Everyone always felt my brothers and I were going to be someone. And my youngest brother right now works for Microsoft. He has about 100-something people that reports to him. Another brother is a network analyst, doing extremely well down in Virginia. My other brother just came back from India, but after a year, learning how to do some computer service stuff. And I worked on Wall Street for 25 years. That's just who we were. All right, we knew we were going to make it. It wasn't about how, when we knew we were going to make it. There wasn't no
If
yeah. And I was the oldest, so I never smoked, I never drank. So my brothers always followed whatever I did. So this is what it was going to be, okay, point blank.
Now, let me ask you a question about these hats and brands. Because obviously, I'm sure you got a collection.
Yep.
So were you wearing the same hat when you was 15, or was you mixing it up?
I was mixing it up. See, you gotta understand. I come from the era of the black exploitation movies.
Yeah.
Superfly, and people like that.
The Mac.
Exactly, the Mac.
Yeah.
The Mac. That was me, okay? That was me. And see, people don't know this. So in high school, if you remember the nicknames people would have back then, the pimps or whatever. So mine was Sweet Daddy Gee. Okay, that was my name. Okay, and I tell you what's crazy. So I go to college, and I went to Cheney University, which is all black school. And I'm the only one of 2 freshmen with a car.
Okay.
And Cheney is in the woods, mountain. So if you don't have a car, you can't get anywhere. So every day women would knock on my door for a ride to the mall, to the store, whatever. So one day I'm taking 4 girls to the mall.
Yes, sir.
And I get a flat.
Okay.
The tire is flat. And the girls are looking at me like, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know. What are we going to do? And one of the girls said, well, I know how to fix a flat. So she gets out and starts fixing the flat. And at that time, these dudes are coming by in their car, guys from New York, they're like, oh, shoot. This guy's really Sweet Daddy.
Sweet Daddy, he in the car.
He in the car, and she fixing the tire.
Yeah, man.
Right? And that's exactly what they said. And it was like almost like a coincidence. But forget it, once that perception gets started,
Oh, you man.
it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would, and when I was in college, I had a briefcase. So I walked
Not a
with
book
briefcase,
bag.
not a book bag, a
So
briefcase.
you've been a different dude for a long time.
Forever and ever. It's just who I've been. I've never changed, and people would tell you, and I'll tell you a quick story. All right, a friend of mine saw Eddie Murphy at a club one day in LA. This was like years ago, and my friend said, "Wow, Gary's been telling me he grew up with Eddie Murphy for years. I wonder if it's really true."
Yeah.
So now Eddie comes back to walk by him, and he said, you know what, it must be meant to be. I gotta go and ask. So he walks over to Eddie, and the security kind of stopped him.
Right.
But Eddie was like, let him go. And he said, Mr. Murphy, I don't mean to bother you, but there's someone that says that they know you, and I just wanted to make sure it was true. And Eddie said, who's the guy? He said, his name is Gary Charles. And Eddie said, you mean Gary Lewis Charles? So that's my government name. Right?
Yeah.
He said, is he still wearing suits? Is he still dancing like he's that dude? And my man said, yeah, you know Gary. It's a true story.
That's hilarious.
So,
That's what's up.
that's the deal.
Man, that's classic, man.
What? So you got educated out there at the school, and then did you go straight up into Wall Street from there?
So what happened was that my mom used to do hair. My mom was one of the first women to do jerry curls.
Oh,
My mom was big into the jerry curls. Hell, she was doing like a whole damn school. Okay, jerry curls. She was that woman. So this woman who she used to do her hair said, you know what, I love you. I want to know what can I do to help your kids out. And she said, let me see if I can get them a summer job, do an intern. So I was in college at the time. And she said, have them come for an interview. So I went out for an interview at this place. It was called Eaton Corporation. After the interview was over, the guy went to my mom's friend and said, he got the job. He's the best interviewer I've ever had. All right? So I did 2 interns. By the time I got done, so I was going to graduate like that December.
okay.
So I did that intern, and the dude was a German I was working for. And I was doing, just so you understand, I was working for a defensive industry. This is back in the days where we were doing B-1 bombers, and Ronald Reagan wanted to do J-Star Project. And he said, I want to bring you back. When you graduate in December, you come back. I'm going to have a job for you. So I graduated, it's like December 21st. I was working full-time by like January the 10th as a scientific programmer. That's what my title was. I didn't know what the heck that was.
Right.
But I was gonna have to write programs and do things to like for the planes, to go out to the moon, you know, or Mars and things like that. I was like, what? Okay. So, but I had to play the funk, and so I was working right away. Within a year, I was buying a house. Within a year. Okay.
21.
I was like 23, something like that, right? I'm buying a house. A year later, I'm driving a Porsche.
Yikes.
So, you know, people had this notion that this AAU stuff did this for me. No. I've lost money because I've done this AAU stuff, all right?
Right.
Because what ended up happening is what I was doing, but I was only giving them 50%. The other 50% was toward this basketball. So I've always known, at least I felt like it, that I was going to be all right. Because that was my mindset, you know, all along.
Now, did you play Cheney?
No, I didn't play Cheney, so here's what happened. I went out for the team, didn't make the team. And really, the team had just won a national championship the year before in Division II. They were that good. That was part of the reason why I went, because...
I mean, because I'm not to cut you off, Coach, but, you know, back then, I'm sure that's what all the players were.
Division II, that's exactly right.
HBCUs.
And I used to say to people, why are these kids here?
Yeah.
Why aren't they like at Syracuse somewhere? They were that good. And guess who the coach was? It was John Cheney. John Cheney was the coach back then.
John Cheney.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so he was the coach at the time. As a matter of fact, he was my gym teacher.
I heard he was hard-nosed.
When I say hard-nosed, you couldn't get any harder than that man.
Yeah.
All right?
Give me some.
Now, let me tell you about this dude.
Yeah.
Okay? He would draw things on the wall and tell my point guard, 1 turnover a game.
That's it.
That's it. My 2 guard, I might give you 3. I mean, he was hard-nosed. And eventually, I became the RA for the basketball team. Like, I was the RA, the resident advisor. You know, so I ran the whole floor. And eventually, they had to put me up on the 7th floor where the basketball team was because no one could control it. All right?
Yeah.
But they always respected me.
Look Goldie.
They respected the flow. They respected the flow.
No doubt.
All right? Everybody did respect the flow. So it was like, oh, man, why did they have to put him over there?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So out of respect for me, things calmed down. But yeah, John Cheney. But let me tell you what I love about that man. When you went to his class, he would end class 15 minutes early. He sat you down, to give you a life lesson
Every day.
every day. You feel me?
And I'm sure those things that you probably at that time didn't really understand.
I didn't understand.
So you got older.
I didn't
I
understand.
had a coach like that as well. I played Division III basketball at Oberlin College for Sat Sullinger.
Okay,
And Sat
okay.
he was the exact same way. I mean, he has so many life lessons for us. And we're like, what is he talking about? And it took me until once I graduated, I finished school in 2002, I understood what he was saying. But at the time, it was just like, he was wasting our time. He was just like,
Right.
he didn't want to hear it.
Well, I understood right away.
I didn't, G. I didn't.
You know, when he was talking, I used to be like this. As a matter of fact, my daughter, my oldest one, ended up going to Temple.
Okay.
It was because of Coach Cheney. Because she was probably going to end up going to Drexel.
Okay.
Because I was close to Boozer Flint at the time, or Maryland. I really wanted to go to Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
But we said, since we're there, let's go visit Temple. So I go say hello to Coach, because I hadn't seen him in a while. He spent 20 minutes giving a speech. After he was done, she said, Daddy, I'm coming here. How about that? She graduated and everything. She's now, you know, a project manager down in Maryland. Okay,
Wow.
but that's the reason.
So
but it's
she's one of
people
them
like
right
that. Oh, absolutely. But it's people like that
Right.
that, you know, help form, you know, certain things in you. Those life lessons. And I remember, and on Cheney's campus, some of the buildings that they had, like Harriet Tubman used for the Underground Railroad. So he was giving us like life lessons like that. Okay, this wasn't no joke.
Right.
This was some real stuff that I was paying attention to every single thing. And just to show you how hard this man is. So now you got to take a final, all right? You got to take a final. And part of the final is you had to make, like, let's say 100 jump shots within a certain amount of time. That's your final, something like that. But I dislocated my elbow. I'm in a cast, all right?
Uh-huh.
And he said to me, you got the other hand, right? So I had to make 100 layups within a certain amount of time.
With the left.
With the left. And there I was. Two.
I can feel that. I'm with you.
3, 4. That was the coach.
So you some discipline.
Discipline.
Make it work. Make it work.
Make it
Find
work.
a way.
You find, there you go. Find a way. No excuses. Find a way. And I gotta tell you something. I used that in grassroots basketball in the 30 years. You know, I always remember I used to get on Lamar Odom's case, you know, all the time. And, you know, one time we were playing a semifinal, you know, basketball game, all right, in this area called ISA, which is like the biggest thing in New York, okay? So if we win, we're going to play against Mon Artest, Elton Brand, and a kid named Eric Barkley, who was also drafted, 3 pros.
Oh yeah, St. John's.
St. John, there you go, all right? So now I had Speedy Claxton on my team and Malik Allen. Now, so we had 3 pros also. But we got to play to get to the semi. Lamar shows up late. Now we're in the gym is packed. And there's guys in there who better than the game, if you know what I mean, those type of guys I'm talking about, it, right?
Right.
So here comes Lamar, after the first quarter, come running in, about to save the day. And I tell my guys, I'm not playing. And they're like, what? I said, I'm not playing. The game is going back and forth. There's a timeout. And one or two of those dudes come over, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and say, Coach, you gotta play him. Coach, I got money in this game. You gotta play Lamar. And I said, dude, I can't play him. So I'm not doing it. He needs to understand. There's more to this than just the basketball.
No doubt.
I need to teach this kid something. Coach, you're gonna cost me a lot of money though. So he's not playing. Now, let me keep this real also. We was up by 4 at the time, all right? And Speedy Claxton was balling.
Yeah.
So I figured as long as Speedy was doing his thing,
We
all right,
good.
we're good.
Money over
I
here.
could take the chance as long as you ain't playing, all right? And I'm like, Speedy,
Keep it going, baby.
don't let me down, all right?
Oh, I'm about to hear this.
Okay.
In more ways than one.
We win the game.
Ah.
We win the game. Place is going crazy. I don't say nothing to Lamar. Nothing. So Lamar's uncle, did you talk to Gary? He didn't say nothing to me. I didn't want to say nothing to him. Right? Because he knew how I was.
Right.
The next day, for the championship, I walk in the gym an hour early.
It's Lamar.
Lamar Odom taking jump shots.
No doubt.
We win the game by a couple points. Co-MVP. Speedy Claxton and Lamar Odom.
Peace.
We still talk about that to this day.
Yeah.
Sometimes the lesson is more important than the win.
There you go. I had to do it.
Structure, discipline.
I had to do it. Now, a year ago, Lamar called me. I want to say it was around June.
Okay.
Coach, I need your help. And I talked to Lamar about it. You're the only one that's always been able to tell me the right thing regardless of the situation. I need you back in my life, Coach. And he said to me, I said, where you at? He said, I'm getting ready to move to Vegas. I said, my man, you trying to straighten out your life? Are you going to Vegas? Are you out your damn mind? He said, start laughing. He said, you see, that's why I need you in my life.
Yeah.
All right? And I said, and we had a nickname for each other. So when he called me, I said, suspect number one. And he bust out laughing. And he said, God, Coach, I missed that. 'Cause that's what I used to call him.
Yeah.
My number one suspect.
Right.
I would go, somebody go out there and get suspect number one for me. Everybody knew who I was talking about. And he would come running over.
Yeah, that's classic.
Where did you get the nickname? How'd you give him that nickname?
Because he was always a suspect.
It's always something.
There's always something with him.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, dude, my man, you're gonna stop being a suspect and be, I might change your name to a convict.
Yeah.
Because you're always up to something. But that was our thing.
That's what's
That
up.
was like the love that we had for each other. So he would just call me suspect. He said, oh, suspect. And I would be suspect number one.
Number one.
That was us.
Was he always eating jelly beans and candy and stuff
Always.
like that too?
I got, you know what,
Kid.
let me say this. I would say to y'all that Lamar Odom is probably the top 5 of the nicest young man I've ever dealt with in my life.
That's deep.
I've had the opportunity to coach 24 pros. Not one, not two, not three, but 24 pros out of my program. And over 300 Division I players. And also being involved in ABCD camp, being around the LeBron James and the Kobe Bryant and on and on and on. That kid was a special human being. But I told him then, there's one word you need to understand. I said, what's that, Coach? Learn how to say the word no. Because that's your biggest problem. You don't know how to say no. It's just facts.
Yeah.
All right? It's just facts.
He's been through a little bit since then, obviously. A lot of us know the story. And have y'all been in communication since then, obviously?
I was, a couple of my friends, reached out because he was embarrassed. And we were supposed to see each other actually in June.
Okay.
I was out in LA for the Panthers All-American camp. But Lamar will tell you one thing and then 3 things might pop up. So we were supposed to meet one day, the next day, and then that Sunday, his guy called, said, hey, Lamar wants to know what time you want to meet today. This is my guy. I'm about to jump on a plane, go to Vegas, because I had to come here to some logistics for this. He said, well, why don't you just change your flights? I'm not changing nothing. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all later.
Right.
I don't have that time anymore like that,
right,
okay?
right.
See, you're a grown man now. It was one thing when you were a young kid. It's another thing now. At one point, you understand. When I could write probably 2 books just on Lamar alone. And when he, finally got his contract, and I said, I'm gone. You could handle your business now. I got you the money I wanted to make sure you got. Now it's on you. I still have a family to raise, and I still have a job.
That's right.
Now I have other kids I need to help get to your point.
Absolutely.
All right?
Invest in them like I
Invest like I invested in you. Okay? Don't worry about all the money I spent on you. Okay? It's okay. It's all good.
That's where it's at.
All right? That's where it is. So that's the deal. But I still love him like a son.
It's a classic story, man.
No, that's good. That's good. Now, Mo said he's known you for a while. You haven't seen, but he's not telling you what he used to do out in your area to make sure that the reason why you were in his path. He's worked at N1 for
Yeah, I
a
used to
long
work at
time.
N1, the mixtape tour.
Okay,
man.
okay.
That was my first job out of college. I was there from about 2001 to like 05, 06. So I've always seen you. What I'm saying? I'm sure you probably know the Alamos and Skip Tomorrow and all those guys.
Just so we understand, Skip played for me. And I have a whole bunch of Skip stories.
Yeah.
Right?
We know Skip too. We know Skip.
He's in Houston with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Skip coached my program for 4 years. He was coming and coaching. Show you the type of guy he was. One year he was playing for Miami. His season was over. The next day he was at practice with the kids. Well, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So I'm ready, coach.
Ready.
All right? And the way he was talking to him, one day I bust out laughing. And he said, what are you laughing about? I said, because you got the audacity to be telling them what I used to tell you
Yeah.
that you used to
Sound
hate.
like me. Yeah.
Right now you sound like me. And he bust out laughing.
Yeah.
Skip was one of those kids that we would have to go to the corner, snatch him up from playing dice. Come on, man, we got a game. And throw him on the bus. Let's go. That's who he was. A week later, he's right back over there in that corner. Skip, get over here. All right? All right, coach, I'm coming. Jump on that bus. Skip was playing a game at Walker Park one year, because he was still young, but he still skipped to my loop.
Yeah.
I came over there, as he's playing, I'm on the phone with the coach. And actually, it was Phil Matthews, who's, I think it's Phil at San Francisco now. At the time, he was coaching JUCO, Ventura, junior college. And I said, Coach, will you take him? I'll take him. When can you take him, Coach? He said, you can bring him this week. They called timeout in the game. I said, yo, man, you out of here tomorrow. He said, where am I going? I said, you're going to Ventura Junior College. He said, where's that? I don't know, but you're going. And he was gone. Okay?
Where is Ventura?
Huh?
Where was it at? The school, Ventura Junior College.
California.
Okay.
Across the country.
Is that how he ended up at Fresno?
There you go. That's how he ended up at Fresno.
I remember being, I had to be in high school at the time. But slam was like the Bible. You know what I mean? To me, never, obviously there was no internet and obviously no social media. So when I got my slam, I was like, this is what it is.
Yes.
And I remember Skip being on the front of the slam and it said, the best PG you've never heard of. That was intriguing. And it's crazy because obviously fast 4 years later, I ended up, meeting him and knowing him, things of that nature. But I remember that, man. Fresno State.
So real. I remember one time we were playing a game and somebody went for the ball. He spun it around his chest, all right, and came that way and then kicked it with his elbow to Xander Hamilton at the time for a dunk. I mean, some of the things he used to do, people won't believe. I mean, it's just some crazy, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He really was that good.
It's funny because Skip his AU program that he has out in Houston is RA Elite, Ray Frost Elite, and he's got some really good players. We played against him a couple weeks ago. We laughed about different basketball things, but the discipline and the structure he has, he gets on those guys. He charges them. He holds them accountable.
He holds them accountable.
When you ain't playing hard, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem. So
he goes off.
Yeah.
So for the 4 years, I'm telling you, when I say I used to laugh at him so hard because these are all the things that we were trying to teach him, at the time. And someone online, he got it, and I really appreciate the fact that he took his personal time. Not only was he coaching guys, but he was driving a van.
Yeah.
So we'll finish the tournament here in Vegas and had to go to the Pumps tournament. He drove from here to there.
After leaving the Miami Heat.
After leaving, and then also washing uniforms. I said, that's right, man, you're doing it all.
Doing it.
He did it all without hesitation. He was doing it. He would sleep at Circus with the team. Go to McDonald's with the team. I mean, I wasn't going to McDonald's with him, all right? But he would take the team. He said, I'm coaching them, I'll go with him. He would be there eating McDonald's with him.
It's funny you mentioned that. We were on our way over here. We were talking about how it's important for coaches to be fully ingrained with their team.
Absolutely.
Eat with them, kick it with them, hang out with them. Because obviously, once you have that kind of rapport, it's easier to coach them.
And they trust you.
And they trust you. There you go.
There it is.
And they trust you. Like my guys always knew that once the game was over, it was over. And now we're joking around, hanging with them, that type of thing. So, like sometimes I might be choking one of them, which I did a couple times actually. But it was all love.
Right.
But they knew when the game started, man, it was coming. They were gonna get it from me. It was serious business. I didn't play that. I didn't play that. So so when it's funny because you hear stories from my guys, and I laugh now. I'm like, did I really do that? When Joe Kim Noah tells me a story, or Danny Green, tell me something, it's like, I didn't do that. Yeah, coach, you did that.
That was you.
That was you.
And do we have those type of guys? Do you still see those type of guys nowadays?
Not really.
They're lost.
No, I think that a lot of things have changed. I remember in the first 10 years, I was asked by a TV station, what did you think was one of the biggest issues that was out there? And I said, there's not enough parents' involvement. Parents need to get more involved with their kids to know exactly what's going on. So 5 years ago, I was asked the same thing, and I said, there's way too much parents involvement, right now. These parents are out of control. The kid is in the 5th grade, and they think they're gonna get NBA contract, that the next Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable
Man.
the way these parents are right now. They're really out of control. Parents, please let your kids enjoy the game. Believe it or not, they still got to go to 6th grade or 7th grade.
Right.
They had time. Allow them to enjoy. You're taking the joy out the game.
No doubt.
It's
So
funny.
that's
We
the
did a segment called Irrational Parents, and you know, my experience is that it's way worse in the summertime because it's the environment really, you know, spews it. You know, obviously high school is a little bit more controlled, where you know team A is just on this side of the court, team B sits here. You know, but in AAU, parents sitting right next to each other.
Right.
And I could be screaming at your kid and not knowing that dad's sitting right there.
Right
Next
there.
thing you know, it's a brawl in the stands.
I gotta tell you, you know what? Yesterday, I think it was yesterday. So I'm talking to, I'll tell you the name in a second. He said, "Hey man, I love this environment. Take my number down. I gotta make sure you look out, man." He said, "Are you bringing us back next year?" I said, "Yeah, we're gonna do that." He said, "Gotta look out, man." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." Man, dude, you gonna call me? I'm gonna call you, man. I'm gonna call you. It was Roy Jones Jr.
Roy
Wow.
The
Jones.
legend himself.
Wow.
Feel me? And
Yeah.
the fact that he was there,
Hey.
watching his kid in it. When I
Yeah.
say in it,
Right.
it was another one.
Yeah.
Kenyon Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Kenyon Martin was watching his kid. All right, it was gonna be good. And they played a game. I think they won in at the buzzer.
Okay.
His face was against the wall, like whoo, whoo, like he was about to die. He was so happy.
Uh-huh.
And I get such a thrill out of that because you know why? Here they are. They could be anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And here they are with their kids, feeling it
Right.
like we do.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
really in it.
Absolutely.
All right? That's a joy, man. My boy Kenny Smith is here every year with his kid. Every single year.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Kenny this morning. Gary, come here, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, what's your problem, Kenny? Man, I think we need to do a couple different things. I said, all right, Kenny. Now, just so you know, son is in the 2nd grade. All right, for the record, just so you know. But that's who we are.
Yeah.
All right, and that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my boy. 2nd grade. I tell people, you know what's about to happen? Let me tell you where we're going with this.
Oh, here it is.
Here's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
A lady is gonna be pregnant. Is gonna have a baby. We're gonna smack him in the behind and say, let's go. Get her on the court. That's where we're going. I'm at work one day, and this guy come walking in. He was coming in to drop something off. And the guy did a double take, and he said, "You're Mr. Charles. You're that legend." And I said, "Thank you for saying that." He said, "I have a son I think you can help me with." He said, "He's dribbling, he's handling it, he got the handle, he got the jump shot all packed and everything. He's moving his feet laterally." I said, "Wow."
And you asked him what grade?
I said, "How old is your son?"
9.
5.
2 years old. My coworker looked at me, he held his stomach laughing. And I said, "I told you."
He's
2 years old.
2 years old.
And the guy was as serious as a heart attack. And the dude was like 6'7".
Yeah.
He said, "He's gonna be my height." So now he's,
know it.
I'm getting like pumped up, thinking maybe the kid come and play my program or something.
Yeah.
2 years old. I said, "My man, can you get out of here, please?"
Yeah, that's crazy.
How crazy is that?
No, no. This atmosphere is electric around here. I told, well, when we came the other day, Mo walked in.
Okay.
First thing he said,
I gotta come in next year.
First thing-
I gotta see it. Cause y'all, it was We Are One playing.
I don't know, it was on that first court right there.
Yeah.
Was that Special League?
Yes.
I think it was Special League.
Dude, he wasn't in here 4 minutes yet.
Yeah.
Seriously, he wasn't. Came in, you know, you turn around, and if you walk in, you don't really know the crowd is right there behind you.
Right.
So he hear the crowd,
Right,
and he get both courts, and he just turned around and like, look, and he's like, I need this in my life. I need this in my life.
Hey, how about the other
Super
day?
intimate.
How about so I asked Paul, me and Cotty, ESPN, said, "Paul, you need to stop by." Paul and I go way back. And he said, "For you, I'm gonna come through." So he had just finished the CP3 tournament, 3-day, Chris Paul and him, and he's tired, real tired. And he said to me, "Gary, I was so out of it. But I walked in the gym, first thing I heard was a DJ, bum, 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 bum. And he said, I seen somebody dunk, and I said, whoa,
I'm up.
I'm up.
It's on in here.
Electricity, he said, it's on and popping in here.
It's like home. To most, this is like home.
He didn't go nowhere. Next thing I know, it was 2 hours later, he was still here.
You know what I mean?
I just asked him to stop by for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
This is our home. This is where this is our comfort zone.
This is our comfort zone.
What
This
we
is what we
relate to.
do.
Yes.
All right? This is nothing but a thing to us. This is us.
Yes.
This is what we do. And he just like, wow. And you know what? And I had other teams come from other events. Like, I need a showcase. And they played a showcase. And they would call me like, can I get another showcase, please?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They just love the atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
And everything. Okay? And you know, guys, listen. I've been around Sonny Vaccaro for a long time. So I picked up on a whole lot of things that man did. And I was storing it, you know, in my head. The other thing is, there were things that I was guiding him on what to do.
Right.
All right? I just, you know, it's like anything else. I'm the lieutenant.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
He's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just play my role.
Absolutely.
All right? But he would come to me like, hey, what do you think we do about this? And I would give that advice.
Because you're on the battlefield.
I'm on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So I knew what to do.
Yeah.
But I was playing my role until it was my time.
Absolutely.
So when it was my time, there was nothing but a thing but to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Okay? Sometimes you just have to wait your turn. And that goes into the parents and these kids. Wait your turn. I never remember one time, you know, Danny Green came to me. I think he was like freshman, sophomore, whatever he was. And he said, Coach, I think I should get more playing time. Charlie Villanueva came to him and said, you're going to wait your turn just like I did. We don't play that here in the Panthers. You wait your turn. Your turn will be next year. This is my year.
No doubt.
I had to wait my time.
Word.
Facts.
So that.
See, you can't do that now, but those were the facts.
Why can't you do it now? What are you referring to?
Because what's happening is now is that you have a team at every single corner. And what happened is that if you tell a kid, a freshman kid, all right, don't worry, in a couple of years we're going to do whatever,
Why?
that kid's going to turn around and go to the other corner across the street and say, well, I can get my time right now.
There it is.
I'm going with them.
Hmm.
All right? I remember one year, Joe Kim Noah called me from Florida. Coach, I'm not playing. They're not playing me. Coach Donald is not really playing me. I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, didn't I tell you you weren't going to play this year? Didn't I also tell you, don't bother me this year?
Yeah.
Call me next year. Click. And I hung up the phone. Because you know why? It's not how you start, man. It's how you finish.
No doubt.
All right?
And back to back.
Yeah.
Okay?
1, 2 rings.
It went, you go back to back and then win. I did the same thing to Danny Green. After his first year, wasn't playing, he wanted to transfer to Vanderbilt. I didn't even after his second year. That's my man.
Yeah.
I told you you weren't going to play. I warned you when Roy Williams was sitting there in your house. You weren't going to play. And I still told you to go to North Carolina. And I told him the same story. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. We have a bigger plan for you.
There it is.
I don't give a crap if they don't play you for 4 daggone years. You're gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the agent gets him, Bill Duffy, my boy. And I said, Bill, I need a favor. What's that, Gary? Do everything you can to get him with San Antonio. He said, why? I said, he's a pop kid. He's a great kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, it's not that a guy can't play, they're just in one place.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get the opportunity. I said, put him with Pop. He goes to Pop the first year, it didn't work out. Then he played in the D-League, didn't want to go overseas. I said, dude, you got to go overseas 1 year. You got to keep your game strong. So they called me up, so you got to talk to him. So you got to play. Goes to overseas, and they come back. Kid just got a $45 million contract. Like, you kidding me? That's what it's about.
It's,
All right?
it's crazy that you have, I guess, the vision. Obviously, you've been doing it for a long time, but you have the vision and the foresight to see that. Do whatever you need to do to get him to San Antonio. There's what, 29, 30 teams in the league? To me, just hearing that story is like, you're thinking about this stuff a couple years
5
down
years
the
later,
road.
that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
You see the character and the type of person they are. You try to put them in the best
Put us in
position,
the best position.
where it's going to help them to be successful.
Hey, you know what? Obviously, it's been a lot of years, so there's some stories like I gotta die with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And there's some I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can share some now.
Mm-hmm.
So Lamar,
Exclusive.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Lamar was freshman in Rhode Island at the time. He hadn't even played. I get a call from Sonny Vaccaro, and he says to me that Dallas wants him. Okay. he could go 7 or whatever in Dallas. He said, Gary, I don't know if he's gonna last that long. I said, really? I said, who's the other kid that Dallas is interested in? He said, some German kid, you know, out there that they're talking about. German kid turned out to be Dirk Nowitzki.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar didn't want to come out. But you know why Lamar didn't want to come out? I don't want to play with the Clippers. We didn't want him with the Clippers. Because of all the situation that they had going there, which wasn't good.
Right.
So we ain't going. That's where he was going to end up at. Comes out the following years, he still ends up with the Clippers. Let me tell you why he ends up with the Clippers. He was going to go #1 with the Bulls. Jerry Krause looking all over. Lamar is hiding somewhere in the street. And you know what I mean when I say he's just somewhere in the street.
Right.
Can't find him. Sonny's calling me like crazy. I'm like, Sonny, I can't find this dude. I said, like, look, Sonny, I actually wanted to go to Vancouver.
Okay.
He said, why? I said, because Sharif Abdul-Rahim is in Vancouver. He will respect Sharif Abdul-Rahim, who's a good guy. And he's going to follow what Sharif does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's what he needs. So what I don't need is for him to be with Charlotte. He said, why? I said, because Anthony Mason is over there. And if he's with Anthony Mason, he's going to follow what Anthony Mason do. Which ain't going to help.
Right.
God bless Anthony's soul.
Amen.
But we all know.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And Lamar, that's what he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And what ends up happening is, Jerry Krause tells Sonny, I got to get a kid that I can count on, a good kid. Hence, they take Elton Brand at #1. Now I'm trying to get Stu Jackson, who was at Vancouver at the time, to take Lamar. So he was going to. He calls me 3 hours before the draft is about to start. Gary, I'm not going to be able to do it. Stu, why not? He said, all my scouts, they want to go with Steve Francis. I said, you got to be kidding me. That's what they want to do. And it takes Steve Francis. Now, I don't know if all y'all remember, Steve Francis, when he heard his name, he went, damn! He had that look in his face.
Oh, he was sick on national
On national
television.
TV.
Yeah.
Sick.
I
Like
remember that.
Sick.
Why me?
They didn't do it. Why me?
Yeah.
I got to go to Camp Baxter. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So now Charlotte don't take him off because he didn't go over there at all. #4, it was 4. Clippers. Lamar Odom. So after all of that, you still end up with the Clippers.
In LA with that lifestyle.
With that lifestyle.
And you knew how he was as a
I
person.
know.
It's kind of the same when you do the same. You know, same way with the guys basically coming out of high school. I have certain guys in the program that I've been doing this 20 years. Obviously, you get a chance, like we say, when you sit down and eat with them, you relax with them, hang out, you know who they are and their type of personality. You know what they can take, you know what they can't take.
Exactly.
So when you try to help them, if they ask you to kind of help, you know, lead them and guide them in the right direction, you try to lead them. And sometimes, has it ever come back to you? Because on me, I've had 4 guys that play with me in the last several years that are pros right now. Isaiah Alston played with me, and Emmanuel Moutier played out of Dallas.
Okay.
And that's,
Yep.
you know,
He was here the other night. He was here.
yeah, through Ray Forsett, a good friend of mine. And then Daniel House and Isaiah Taylor. House is with the Wizards this year,
Yep.
Taylor's with the Rockies. I've had more pros in the last couple of years than anybody, period, in Texas.
How about that?
But people are always getting on me talking about, well, watch where Marlon sends his kids to. If he sends them to this university, you know, Texas, sends them to Houston, he sends them to this school. And so, but they don't realize it's not about me. It's about the kid, putting him in the
Exactly.
best place where
There
he
you
can
go.
continue to grow.
There you go.
Because his dream is not to sit on the bench and watch everybody else. His dream is to be able to play on the floor and then have a chance to build a resume to play after he's out of college. So, do you go through some of the same things?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do. I think though maybe not as much as you, because I think because I was there in the forefront, is that legendary status, so to speak. So I'm able to get away with some more, you know, kind of like Gary McKnight in high school,
Right.
you know, LA, you know, things like that. I remember Charlie Nuevo, he was coming out straight out of high school. I said, Charlie, I don't know if it's a good idea. And Charlie, you know, was 6'11" at the time, could shoot and all of that. So he goes to, you know, all his workouts, teams, and everything else. So it's the last one. He's going out for the Nets. And we had till 5 o'clock to pull his name out. So I'm at the workout, there's Byron Scott, and I'm working him out and everything else. And, you know, he finally comes over, he said, man, I don't know what you think. I said, dude, I don't think you're ready. He said, what we gotta do? I said, we gotta write a letter to Stu Jackson and get it in, all right, before the deadline. He said, my God, who's gonna do the letter? I said, I just happen to have a letter right here, just sign it right here. Okay?
I just so happen to have it in the draft.
Okay? Because now here's the thing. Dallas was gonna take him, I think, 28, and then San Antonio was gonna take him 29 through his there. And I said, that doesn't make sense, Charlie, it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he says to me, okay, what are we gonna do about college? I said, you're going to UConn. I said, okay. And he says to me, okay, I'll do a year at UConn and, I'm out. I said, no, you're not. You're going to do 2 years. So what do you mean I'm going to do 2 years? I said, that's what you're going to do. You take a look at Ray Allen, he had to do 2 years. Kawan Butler had to do 2 years. 2 years. Richard Hamilton had to do. Calhoun's going to make sure you do 2 years. He said, let me get this straight. So I could come out now and be a first round draft pick, but now I got to go to college and do 2 years before I can get out? And I said, Charlie, let me explain something to you. It's not about getting in the NBA. It's about staying in the NBA. Those 2 years is going to help you stay in the NBA. And regardless of the situation, guys, 11 years later, that boy is still getting a paycheck.
Absolutely.
You understand?
No doubt.
All right? Call him what you want. Say what you want.
Just don't call him broke.
Don't call him broke. Because he's still in the NBA. 11 years later. And that's the things that I try to, enforce through not just basketball, just in life in general, with my daughters, my kids. These are the things that I preach. That the foundation that you set between the age of 17 and 23, 24 is what's going to carry you for the next 50 years of your life. If you end up picking up the wrong man, your life could be miserable for the next 30 years. If you have a kid too soon, your life could be miserable for the next 30 years. Understand that you need to get that right man to do things together. Okay? You need a partner. You don't need somebody holding you back, slowing you down. You need to understand what you get yourself into, the life you're about to get yourself in. And for whatever reason, guys, I've always been fortunate, maybe because I was the oldest, since I was in 6th, 7th grade, to always be thinking 2 or 3 years in advance. And my friends always used to say that.
Yes.
You always seem to have known where you was going, what your plan was, whatever it was. But I've always known. Anything I've done, it was with a plan. And I hate to admit it, even if, when I first got married, there was another girl I thought I loved, but I chose this one because I knew she had a better business sense. Okay?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I don't need no woman who don't know she can make it happen. I'm just giving you facts. I'm sorry.
No question.
I'm just giving it real.
There it is.
All right? And that woman I got with, the next year, the two of us together were buying a house. A year later, we're driving a Porsche. We were about to make it happen. That was the bottom line. The other one, I knew I was going to have to carry her.
Right.
Okay? Not that I totally mind, but man, nothing wrong with getting help too. All right?
Getting help.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No question.
Help
All right?
me. That's what they call
Exactly.
it.
Help the helper.
All right. All this stuff about, but daddy, I love that man. I said, sweetie, that only goes for a year. The second year, you're going to hate him because he's broke. So I'm not trying to hear that.
Right.
Okay? I'm just trying to keep it real with you. Okay? You didn't grow up being broke. You ain't going to be with that broke man either. And here's another thing while we're at it. You have people who are trying to give you advice. The one thing I cannot stand my whole being is a broke man trying to tell me how to get rich. Because if you knew how to get rich, you do it yourself.
Right.
So stop trying to give me advice, broke man. And I tell my kids that all the time.
Right.
Take the lesson from the people who've been there. And this is what I mean when I tell my ball players, like, look, the road has been written. If you follow this road, you're going to be all right. But you guys like to deviate off the road. All of a sudden, there's somebody that comes out of nowhere that knows better than the guy that's been raising you the whole time trying to tell you what to do. That's gotten you there.
Right. That experience.
That experience. I told Matt Carter the same thing one year. I said, Matt, don't let anybody tell you what to do. You've been there. I watched you go up. And all the decision you made has been the right decision. Follow your instinct. You're going to be all right. That's what it is.
It's a blueprint.
It's a blueprint. That's why I've been fortunate to have 24. Not that some of these guys were better, but they just followed the direction. This is what we're doing.
Right. Stay to the course.
Stay on the course. They get upset, whatever. Say, dude, I keep telling you. It ain't about today. It's about tomorrow.
That's right.
Set you for life.
That's powerful words right there.
I
man.
know.
You like you say, you leading and teaching by experience. And you trying to pass that on to the next people in line and communicate with families and tell them that, look, just listen sometime. I know how this
I've
supposed to
been
go.
there. I know a little bit.
Yeah.
I was, every time I coached, you know, especially when I first started, you know, I would leave from work. I'm on Wall Street, right? I got a suit on. I got my 3-piece suit on with my brim and everything else, okay?
Mhm.
And people are like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Okay? And then I remember years later, a coach was talking to a player and you know, was recruiting him. Said, what do you want to be? And he said, I want to be a businessman like my coach Gary Charles one day. That's what I want to be. Because I see the way it's supposed to be. The reason I was doing it, guys, at the time was I was so sick and tired of these kids really looking up to all the drug dealers, you know, pimps and everything. That's all they saw.
Right.
I wanted them to know that a brother could be successful. Go get a job. See, because like you started to say earlier, even if you go play, you know, ball, the average lifespan is like 4.5 years.
Right.
What are you going to do after that at 28, 29? You have another 50, 60 years in your life, Lord willing. What are you going to do with that? You need to prepare yourself. So I'm always trying to make sure that I play that part. All right? Because you never know that day is when you're going to be teaching another kid a lesson. All right? You just never know. So my flow has never changed. This is who I am. I'm not pretending or anything like that.
Right.
This is me. Like it, dislike it, whatever. All right? But it's all good. Okay? Because I got to take care of me, my family, and everything else.
Right.
All right? And I had to be myself.
It's about like putting the pieces, the different pieces of a jigsaw puzzle together. Everybody's puzzle is different, but because of your experience, you know what's going to fit and what doesn't fit.
Exactly.
It's like, for example, I'm sure being from the East Coast, you feel like it's important to keep kids kind of close to home in their area because that's where they're going to live at when they probably get finished. But for somebody like Skip, it was best for you to get him away from the environment,
There you go.
which was going to help him.
There you go. It was going to help him.
And your experience tells you that.
Exactly.
With the next person, you don't need to go to the West
Right.
Coast. No. You'll get lost.
You'll get lost. And you know, that's a great point that you made there, because you need to understand your kids. Like my daughters, 5-hour radius where you go to college. That's it. Because I know if they're further, they may never come back. And I want to see my kids. I'm not gonna lie. I want to be able to see my grandkids one day.
Right.
So I want them within a certain area.
Yes.
You know, fine. So that's my radius. Like my daughter right here, my youngest one, a little diva. So talking about daddy, that's wrong. You know, you limited in my school. I said, that's true. I'm limited to 600 schools. All right? Go find one of these 600 schools. And that's as far as you go.
5 hours.
All right? 5 hours. I want to keep it 4, but I'm like, all right, I'm extend it to 5.
Yeah.
Okay?
And people, parents don't realize that. If you let your son go somewhere far away, they're probably never going to come back. They're going to stay there.
They're going to stay
If
there.
they go to a school from the South, go up to Minnesota, to go to wherever, go to Milwaukee, they're going to stay there probably. They're probably going to find their soulmate, they're going to find their husband or whatever, and they're going to live in that area. And so therefore, guess what? Even if they don't, halftime when they finish, they're going to settle down. They don't really want to come back. They're going to try to figure out something, and then it's over.
It's the natural way of water.
Now it's plane tickets. You got to
Exactly.
buy a plane ticket to go see them, for them to come back and see you.
Yeah, she actually UNLV was one of the schools she was thinking about going to, because you know we get 4 or 5 times a year. And I said, not happening.
Too far.
Too far. Not happening. You think it's all good, because when we come here, everything is all good.
Yeah.
But when you have to stay here every single day, you know, anywhere, and you know, I'm not saying it bad, I'm just saying things are different. I'm like, it's not going to happen. All right? So that's how I feel.
Like you said, I mean, for her to actually come to school here, you're talking about here to New York. Is that a 3-4 hour flight?
No, that's a 6-hour flight.
6-hour flight. Time zone, this is 3 hours.
Dude, and my daughter's a diva. She'd be like, Daddy, I need you right now. I'm like, sweetie, it's a 6-hour flight, okay? So it don't work that fast. And just like you mentioned about the marriage and everything else, so, you know, my daughter, Brittany, the oldest one, ended up going to Temple, as I mentioned, ended up moving to Maryland. She just got engaged,
Okay.
all right, about 3 weeks ago. And that's your point. Your point is that they end up staying there. And I get that. I can live with, you know, I can deal with
Yeah,
Maryland
right
because I also have family in the DC area. So I know something happened, boom, they could get there in an hour and a half, less than 2 hours. That's the key for me.
Right.
You know, that's key. So you're right, experience teaches you all those things.
Right. You can reach out to Keith. He'll go get her. Keith Stevens. He'll make sure that she's straight.
Oh yeah. Yeah, then he'll be telling me, hey man, you gotta comp on my team.
On my teams.
My boy.
Make sure your mom is not at the at the game.
That's right. He won't let you in.
No, that's good. Now tell me, what are your thoughts on, obviously doing this and the way things have transgressed over the last year when it has moved forward? You have guys in the NBA, whether it's on certain TV stations or whatever, they kind of communicate like, seems like sometimes like we're in the back, we're bad. Us summer coaches and directors, we're bad guys, and former NBA players and things of that nature. And it's like, why are we not, like you said, you have a degree, I have a degree, Dino's has a degree, so many people all around the country who do these things. We're educated men, but it seems like those guys, now they have a little platform now, they have a little money in their pocket. Now it seems like they're talking down on the same people who really kind of wanted to help them.
Here's the shame of it all, and as you mentioned, we all have a degree. 10% of the guys in what we do are bad. But so are the cops. So are teachers. It's just part of society. Right? You're gonna have some bad apples.
Absolutely.
But don't paint all of us with the same brush. All right? And I do have, I shake my head about it because what I remember, Kobe came straight out of high school.
Right.
He played in AAU. That's how I saw him. That's how I knew to go to Sonny and say, that's the kid. It wasn't because he was playing for Duke. Okay? One of the best players I ever played. He didn't go to college. Kevin Garnett, AAU. He didn't go to college. LeBron James didn't go to college. Carmelo only played 1 year.
Right.
So some of the best players that we've had have only done 1 year. Kyrie Irving played what, 9 games at Duke?
Yeah.
9. That's all. Some of the best players. So to hear some of the stuff like, come on guys, really? Come on, for real?
Right.
Huh? And when I see like the regular guy there telling me, man, that was some of the best times I've ever had in my life.
Right.
All right? We did okay by you. So to hear this other stuff, like, come on. So now, listen, I watched, in the last couple of years, I watched Kenny Smith coach in the summer. Are you telling me he's a bad guy?
Exactly.
I watched TJ Ford coach.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me he's a bad guy?
David West.
David West.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Stackhouse.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. I watched Andre Miller, do it. You telling me they're doing something wrong? Now, what about that guy over on ESPN? What's for ESPN? He has an Under Armour team. He's doing it. Legler. He has the team. He's coaching.
Legler said some negative things before too, but
And they're coaching.
why does it seem like it's valid? They won't say anything about their own colleagues. Like I heard Dennis Scott on there talking down about AAU basketball, Reggie Miller sometime, but they won't say anything about Kenny Smith and their colleagues, but it's the people who can't stand up and come tap them on the shoulder sometimes and say, hey man,
What are you
why don't you come down here and check this out?
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't never seen you down here.
Here's the thing, like for example, I heard Charles Barkley, talking down about it.
Oh, yeah.
Now here's my problem. I had never, in my 30 years, ever seen Charles in one game. Never.
Me neither.
All right? Never. Charles. Ever. But you're saying something, Charles, based on what? Oh, what so-and-so told me?
Something you read or something on Twitter and social media. Exactly.
And my thing is, like I tell my kids all the time, always listen to both sides of the story before you, make a decision. And I'm not aware that Charles has sat down with any of us to get the story.
Right.
When you saying the thing that you say. So I shake my head and I look at some of the people who are saying it, like some of these writers who are saying it, who never bounced a basketball. They wouldn't have no idea how to make a layup. And then here you come saying some of the things that that you say. Because here's the other thing that people don't understand. The easiest thing, people out there, that we do is when we coach a 1-point game with 2 minutes to go. That's the easiest. I need you to come out and understand this. We are the father, we're the mother, we're the ATM, we're your priest, we're your teacher.
Counselor.
You're a counselor for every one of these kids. Because we are you.
We are the disciplinarian.
We do it all. Easiest thing we do is when we coach a 1-point game. They think everyone has their hands out.
Right.
I got news for you. That's a myth. Keep believing in those myths.
Totally.
It's kind of like the same way history has been written. I'm a history buff. And guys, a lot of histories are lies. People don't want to believe it. They're lies. I don't think I don't know if I was maybe 15, 16 years old before I realized that Cleopatra was really black and not white.
Right.
You know, but when I was growing up, they had me believing she was white.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when you say then they look at you funny like, but she was black. So a lot of history is wrong. So people take something and they run away with it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not facts. You're going, based on what somebody said.
Right.
Come out here and check it out for yourself.
Lack of research.
Come on.
And if nothing else, I think it gives those guys, when I see T.J. Ford or, David West and Stackhouse and those guys, they're giving back to the community. They're giving back to these kids. So
Absolutely.
For a guy like Barkley or some other guys who may not necessarily ever step into a tournament, just come and get your time. Just spend an afternoon just to come and see what it looks like.
Look, my thing is this. You can have your opinion, I get that.
Right.
But can you at least come and see it before you say it?
You know what I'm saying? I don't care about your time. I don't even care about your money. If you're not going to give your money or your time, then don't speak on it.
Don't speak on it.
Don't speak on it. You know what I mean? Because you can keep your money in your pocket. You can keep everything. But if you just come and look, that's going to give you a different perspective. Because you're going to see kids around here, first of all, they're going to be looking up to you and saying hello, 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 hello. But at the same time, you're going to see kids playing. And guess what? That's just 1% of it. When the game is over, is when the real work begins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When the game is over, is when the real work begins. If you're not going to come and hang out with us in these rooms and see how these kids talk and how we have to mentor and coach them and teach them, it's hard.
I had a friend of mine, he was telling a story one day. He was at a tournament in Pittsburgh for a weekend. Played well, whatever. He came back. He gets a phone call from one of his players. The kid was crying all over the place. And the reason the kid was crying was because while he was away that weekend, his mother was shot, his brother was shot, his father was shot. If the kid wasn't away with him, he would have been shot. Those are the things that people don't understand, that those kids, we're keeping them off the street. We're doing something with them. Now they're able to see that there's more than just that neighborhood.
Right.
Because we know where we come from, some of the same guys are still in the hood. Same
spots.
neighborhood, same spot, haven't gone anywhere. We show these kids, no, there's other things you can do. And I know this, say whatever you want. I know that there was about 500 college coaches in my daggone building the other day to watch those kids.
Right.
All right? You talking about bad?
Right.
Well, there was some bad coaches in there.
Right.
All right? Okay? I know Calipari was in there.
Right.
I know Sean Miller was in there. I know Bill Self was in there.
Right. Opportunity.
They weren't there at the high school games or whatever. They were here.
No doubt.
So that whole thing about AAU, come on. Enough already.
So what do you say about, I was looking at yesterday, somebody, I don't want to call his name because I don't know if it was him or not, but they put out the article talking about they're more concerned now about the packets, quote unquote, the packets, the cost of the packets, things of that nature. You put on a great event, helping kids, and now they want to worry about something. All they worried about now is the package. What's coming out of the other end of the package?
Well, here's the thing. One of the things that we try to do is we make everyone register on our site with the name and the right information to try to put out a quality package. All right. And here's what I would tell these guys, like I tell these coaches all the time. It's not your money.
It's not your money.
It's not your money. All right. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about what's really going on. Because here's the deal. You're worried about the packet, but you have no problem going to stay at the Bellagio. Right? You have no problem going by renting out the Escalade. Then you want to go over there and shoot some dice. But you want to limit us.
Right.
Okay?
Count your pockets.
All right? You want to count my money in my pocket. I don't count yours.
No doubt.
And listen, I see a lot of you in the casino and other places.
Yeah.
And other places.
And other places.
Yeah.
So that stuff, I take it like I tell my wife and them, I don't want you to listen to nothing, because they have to hear all of it.
Mhm.
They're full of crap. It's not their money.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't spend it here, trust me, they're going to spend it somewhere else. Period.
Fine, but your budget gonna go down.
There you go.
Exactly.
Gee, so we're gonna get ready to conclude here. We throw a couple of shots at you, names, maybe phrases. Give me about a 15, 20-second response. Top 3 players you've ever seen, ever seen play, whether you've coached them or not.
Kobe Bryant is definitely on that list. Kobe Bryant was probably the first loud assassin I ever met. You knew he was coming, and there was still nothing you could do about it.
Loud, that's your definition of a loud assassin.
Loud
I like
assassin.
that.
I like that.
I like that.
Okay?
Yeah.
So Kobe was one. Kevin Garnett was another. Every time I saw Kevin Garnett, he just got better and better. He was snatching 20 and 25 rebounds, but what I liked about him, he was attacked in the rim like it was a last meal.
Yes.
He was so ferocious. I was like, Lord Jesus,
Lord Jesus.
you better get out the way.
Yes.
Unreal.
I got a quick funny story about KG. So I'm from Chicago. I played at Hales Franciscan, and I want to say that KG came to Farragut either my sophomore or junior year. So it was a big tournament preseason at UIC. So it's like about 10 courts, everybody's playing. And so the rumbling around the gym is that the number 1 player in the country is playing with Farragut. So at that time, I only knew Stephon Marbury.
Okay.
So I'm like, Stephon come in? And again, this is no internet, no anything. We just going off of what we hear.
Exactly.
KG walked in the gym. They played against Kenwood that had Nazir Muhammad. That was that big. KG played with some Carl Kanai jean shorts on and a jersey and went to fucking work. And we was like, yo, who is this dude?
Yes.
Right.
He
Yes.
had rubber bands on his hands.
That was KG.
It was amazing to see somebody that was really my peer, only a couple years older than me. It was crazy.
He was something to see. So KG was that, and then the other one's LeBron James. All right. LeBron played that game with such enthusiasm. It was just unreal how nice of a kid he was. What turned me on, off the court. But when I got sold was that I coached Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook was one of the best I ever saw. As a matter of fact, when the game started, when we walked on the court, we were 10 points ahead. That's how we felt with Lenny Cook.
Right.
Okay?
Loud assassin.
All right. Lenny Cook walked on the court. We had to play. We had to. One year went to Bob Gibbons. Lenny Cook against Raymond Felton had 35. DeMar Williams 30. And someone else 28. So now playoff time come. We walked over to Bob Gibbons. We want to play that team. He said, "What's the playoff? We don't care. Find a way for us to play that team." And that team had Amari Stoudemire, Travis Outlaw, and Dwayne Washington.
Ooh,
We mercy that team.
man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lenny Cook was that dude.
That dude.
All right. So now we play the game at ABCD. Lenny against LeBron. Lenny one time goes through his legs 8 times. Back, bang! It's a jump shot. We're in New York, Jersey. The place goes crazy.
Yeah.
But LeBron comes down. Another New York kid just went right back at Lenny. Not LeBron. He made the right pass. And the kid scored a leg. And I said, whoa. I'm looking at a special kid.
Yeah.
Because anybody else would have went right back at
He
Lenny.
didn't get
Right.
caught up in
He didn't get caught up in it.
Yeah.
Now, the game's about to be over. We're down to, 20 seconds. Lenny comes down, bang, makes a shot. Up by 1. Place is going berserk. Lenny's about to be that dude.
Yeah.
LeBron comes down. Might have been a 2-point game. Comes down, bang! Nails a 3. The same way the two of you are sitting here, I'm sitting here, Sonny is sitting right here. We gave each other that look.
There it is.
There it is. Because that was the same thing we did with Kobe.
Yeah.
We gave each other that look that said, we didn't get loud. We just knew.
This new.
There it is. I had never seen anyone do that to Lenny. Seriously, at that time. And guys, this is a true story. LeBron went up, Lenny went down after that. And Lenny, I love you. I know you don't want to hear it, but that's what happened at that point. LeBron went up, Lenny went down. That was the beginning of the legend of LeBron James for the world to know.
And that was showcased in the documentary, that exact sequence that you mentioned. And it was crazy because, again, it went back to how people just didn't know who guys were.
Right.
Because there was a rumors like, who was the kid with the Dr. Fro?
Yeah, exactly.
LeBron.
That's
LeBron,
exactly
hey,
right.
Where you from? Akron. It was just like,
You
who
absolutely
the
right.
hell is this guy?
I didn't even know him. But the only reason I knew was the year before. Maverick Carter used to work for me at ABCD campus, one of my counselors. And he would be telling me about, yo man, I know you keep thinking it's all about Lenny, but you should see my cousin. And I would be like, man, will you leave me alone and get over to that table and keep the score, please?
Yeah,
All right?
yeah.
But he kept at it. He said, yo, Gee, I'm telling you, my cousin, man. Man, please. And Akron, Ohio, come on, man. Please. I ain't trying to hear about no Akron, Ohio. You didn't say Chicago.
Right.
You didn't say DC. You said Akron, Ohio. Come on.
Yeah.
So, but LeBron came, man. Wow. Wow. And I remember as people asked me at the end after ABCD, what's the difference between LeBron and Kobe Bryant at this time? And I said, here's the difference. LeBron's a lot bigger at the same stage. But Kobe is a killer.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a killer yet.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets that killer, he'll really be that dude. That's the true story.
Hmm.
That's what I told him. He was such a nice kid.
Oh, Mav been around a long time. We got to find a way to get Mav
Man.
on the podcast,
Yep.
baby. He got some stories to
Of
tell.
course he
I'm
do.
sure he does.
Definitely has them now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ask him. Yo, that's you used to be Gee's counselor? He was like, yeah. I did. I was. True story. I love that.
Man, I'll tell you what, we appreciate your time.
Man, absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if there's anything you want to leave anybody with, because there's a lot of people listening right now. I don't know if you want to shoot anything to them or share anything.
Where can they follow you, if anything of that nature, in social
Well,
media?
yeah, I'm on, at GEE Charles, at G Charles on Twitter. And from time to time, I try to put some, wisdom out there. I see a lot of stuff out there, and I think there's stuff like people, like, really, man, did you really need to put that out there? That type of thing. I try to do the right thing. At the end of the day, we're on this together. I grew up in a time in which, raised by a village, all right? And I think we need to continue that. And I think we need to go back to that. You have parents now who, if a teacher disciplined their kid, they show up to the school and already beat up the teacher. Okay? In my days, if the teacher disciplined you, then you got home, you got disciplined again. So the teacher did what? And I just think that we need to, go back to that. Because we're all in this for the kids, all right? So understand that, parents. Okay? So that's what I like to leave. Love you all.
You Charles, my man.
The legend.
Appreciate it, baby.
Thank you,
Thank you for
sir.
having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
And we out on the summer.
Oh, man.
Nice job, guys.
Man, no, thank you. That was good.
Jordan. That was
Yes,
good.
sir.